Hello everybody, this is Manu and welcome to another Eternal News episode. So we got a couple more spoilers for the new upcoming set 4. I waited a bit to accumulate more than just like 1 or 2 to make it worth your while, and now we have 3 or 2.5, so I figured it's enough to give you an update and give you some much needed feedback on the spoilers since the last video. Alright, let's take a look. So first we got another uncommon spell in fire this time. Costs 3, requires 1 fire influence, and it's called Won't Be Pretty. Unfortunately, then the name is the game here. The card really won't be very pretty either, since yeah, it's a pretty bad Punisher card. For anyone that doesn't know what that means, Punisher cards, Punisher mechanic, is the name the community has given cards that give your opponents a choice between 2 things to happen. And yeah, that type of mechanic never had an official name, and people yeah, dubbed it Punisher mechanic, and I'll just stick with it because it has like no specific name in Eternal yet. Probably never will because it's not a keyworded mechanic. Anyway, it refers to mechanics like this. In this case, you choose 2 enemy units, and then the enemy player gets to choose what happens with them. So the critical choice is in the opponent's hand, and they can always choose the one of the 2 that's less bad for them, and you don't want to play cards where your opponent has the choice to pick the lesser evil, and you cannot control what happens. And this is a particularly bad example for this. We had this Punisher mechanic already attached to the spell that the head of the Cabal was generating, but there was at least 2 good things that could happen, although vastly different things. And here we have a good effect and a bad effect for us, and the opponent gets to choose which happens to which unit, and that's really, really bad. So you choose 2 enemy units, but then the enemy player chooses which one of those takes 6 damage, and which one of those gets a +1/+1 weapon. So effectively, this costs 3, deals effectively 6 damage to the best enemy unit that has 6 or less health and would die to this, and puts a +1/+1 weapon on their best unit. That's effectively what the card does. And that's not particularly good. You don't want to kill the second best unit and make the best unit better. You want to kill the best unit, period. Or like the most problematic one. Sometimes the opponent might not be entirely clear on what their best unit against you is, what your biggest problem is among the opposing units, but most of the time it will be pretty clear and they just kill the thing you care about less. And yeah, your removal is supposed to be reliable and kill the stuff you need it to kill rather than just kill random units, especially in fire. You just want to get rid of the most annoying blocker, like say they have a ready unit and an exhausted unit, then they will just kill the exhausted unit, leave their blocker up so you still can't attack, and the blocker now even is bigger than before. Just a terrible card. Like, I don't even know why they would give us cards like this, because they're just so bad that they're just frustratingly bad and unplayable, like even in limited. So yeah, this card makes me kind of sad. I hope there's not too many cards with similar structures in the new set, because I really hate those cards from the bottom of my heart. They're just terrible. Anyway, on to the next card, Claw of Curios. But as you can see, it's a token card, like a card that is generated by another card. It's not an actual card. Granted, that would be really weird if there is like an actual card that's just part of a unit. That would be really strange. But yeah, in this case it makes more sense. It's a 3/3 with Killer and a Dragon. The fact that it requires time and primal influence lets us only assume that it is generated by a spell or unit of those 2 influences, and the fact that it costs 3 only matters in your void or if it gets sent to your hand, usually, because you will not pay the power cost of this card. You will generate it through a unit effect or stuff like that. Maybe there's a unit that summons this when it comes to play, like a Curios or something, that generates its claw separately to use, or there's a spell that generates Claw of Curios. Not sure, but it definitely could be an interesting card that this belongs to, and a 3/3 killer is also not terrible, leaving like a body behind and killing something small. So this could be belonging to a good card, or just to like kind of a cool card that's not too constructed relevant. It might just be like good and limited. And last but not least, the latest spoiler, Void Drummer. So this is basically a better version of our Night Stalker, Lethrai Night Stalker, 3 mana, 3 power, 2/2 unblockable for 1 shadow. This requires 2 shadow, and in addition it pumps all our units in our void by +2/+2 if it attacks. Granted, for now this card doesn't have a lot of constructed implications. Sure, unblockable units you could put weapons on, and there are some fringe uses for the void, like with Haunting Scream and Dark Return, or Dawnwalker, but now that Dawnwalker requires a double time on 3 and quadruple time to return it, also playing like small double shadows 3-drops that are bad at blocking and also don't return your Dawnwalker just to make your Dawnwalkers even bigger is probably not gonna be worth it. Like, I don't think this is gonna be good enough to make it into, say, a Xenon killer deck that has a bunch of ways to abuse this with Dark Return and Dawnwalker, simply because they have too many better 3-drops, and even in like a Scream deck, the 3-cost slot's pretty crowded, and so on. So yeah, this is like probably not much better in the end than, say, the 3 power 2/4 that gives something +2/+2 when it goes to the void while the unit is while the 2/4 is in play. So maybe there's like new stuff that makes this more relevant, but for now this is a rather underwhelming legendary. In limited, a 3 power 2/2 unblockable is solid, and the bonus might randomly help you too, so it's definitely not a terrible limited card, but not what you would usually expect from a legendary in limited, so more of like uncommon power level in limited still. But yeah, that's the latest spoilers that we have so far. Nothing too exciting. More disappointing than exciting actually, but we will see what the upcoming spoilers bring and what Claw of Curios belongs to. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this review as usual. If so, don't forget to drop a like and hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications for future news and other content. And yeah, that's it again for today. I'm Manues, this was Eternal News with the latest spoilers. I thank you for watching, and I see you next time. Bye!